This week on Pole House Black Pot Weekend Getaways, it's still way too hot to cook or camp. So,
right.
What's on the menu?
We're doing a pancake bread.
So stick around. This is Wade, and I'm Angel, and this is Iris, and we are Pole House Black Pots Weekend Getaways, where we show you all things yummy to cook in cast iron as we visit different places. Welcome, and we're back on our front porch again. It's way too hot.
So we're continuing our series on Too Hot to Camp.
It is very much that. I mean, it's evening time, and it's probably in the mid-90s still. In fact, just standing here, I feel like I'm sweating. We're cooking something that we've never cooked before, but it sounds really interesting. What's on the menu?
It is a pancake
bread.
Yeah.
It's a quick bread. So we're going to get things around, and we'll get right back to you. Okay, now this is not an easy quick bread to make. But if you're out camping, you only got time, especially if you do your pre-mix like we do all the time, which I've kind of done here. But at first, the recipe says to line your loaf pan. Well, we are doing a loaf pan of a 10-inch deep Dutch oven. It calls for a 5x8 loaf pan. That's about this size. We won't have to cook it near as long.
Yeah, we've done quite a few recipes that way. They work really good, less cook time.
Okay, now the first thing it tells you to do is make this crumble off the top, which is, you got flour and brown sugar that we're going to mix up here with a fork. See? And then to that we're going to add approximately 1 tablespoon of butter.
Room temperature.
At room temperature, that's right. And this is supposed to be kind of a crumble for the top, so we'll see how well it does. As hot as it is out here, we're liable to wind up with a wilty topping, but we'll see. And I guess if you wanted to, you could put a pinch of cinnamon. We don't know how this is going to taste, so we don't normally, and there's cinnamon in the actual bread itself. So
try not to
over cinnamon
and alter recipes for the very first time.
Yeah, we don't. We cook them just like they say the first time, and then we make adjustments, or we leave them alone if we like them. Like our sourdough that we fixed at Arrow Rock now, and we fixed it several other times. Now, that looks pretty daggum crumbly, doesn't it?
Perfect.
So we're going to set this aside like it says. And then it says in here, okay, I have whisked together my flour, baking powder, baking soda, just a pinch of salt, and the cinnamon. And it's pretty well mixed up in there. And then it says set it aside. That's why you could do this ahead of time.
Yeah, that could be put in a bag and take with us, couldn't it?
Yes, it
So
could.
we do a lot of times. Label it and put it in a quart Ziploc. And
now this is not going to be good on diabetics. I'm sorry. You'll just have to take some more steps if you're eating this and you're diabetic. Now, it calls for a cup of firmly packed light brown sugar. And it's kind of melty too, kind of like I'm getting that way.
yeah.
Now wait a minute. No, it didn't. That's the next step. See?
A lot to this.
Yes, there is. The first thing it calls for is, the sour cream. I do want to get my brown sugar put in there because I'm
Get it measured out.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I don't want my half a cup measuring cup because it's easier to get in this little bag here to get all nasty with the sour cream. That's why I was doing that. Okay. In here, it calls for 1 cup of sour cream. Would you believe there was actually a bug out here?
It's not too hot for bugs.
No, it's not, but
Just almost too hot for humans.
well, it is almost too hot for Iris. We put her in
And the worst
house.
thing, if you're not familiar with Missouri weather, when it's 95, unfortunately, the humidity is almost usually 95%. So
Yeah, sour cream. I'm doing it
that
right.
makes it kind of yucky around. I know some places out west you might get 100, 110, which is not good,
that
but
don't account for the gosh darn humidity.
yeah, that's what kills us around here. It makes it feel like.
It's hotter than Hades.
So we're doing a cup of sour cream, right?
Yep, 1 cup of sour cream.
Okay.
And that was about what was left in here. You know, if you wanted to, if you're trying to conserve space, you can buy an 8-ounce container of sour cream. That's your cup. But we had baked taters for supper one night. Microwave baked taters, because we ain't
Turn the oven on.
turning the oven on until probably October. Okay, I'll leave that there. Then to that, we put in 2 tablespoons, and we're assuming 2 teaspoons of vanilla. We're assuming that's 2 teaspoons. You can't go wrong with
A little extra vanilla if you have to.
vanilla. And then real, and I will again say, real maple syrup. Not no imitation.
May not work out as good.
And it's 2/3 a cup of that. Oh, look at how thick that is.
Thicker than a lot of maple syrup, isn't it?
Until you pour it in, and then it looks just right. 2/3 a cup of maple syrup. Okay. Then it tells you to mix this up until there's no sour cream chunks. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going around my bowl here, getting as much of that as I can. Look at that. I don't see any chunks of sour cream. Do you, dear? Okay. We're going to leave that alone. Then it says to add 2 eggs. 1 at a time, beating until smooth. So I'm going to do just that. Make sure when I put my brown. And then we're going to put the butter in. Yeah, that's what it says. Double checked it. Now that looks really good and smooth. Then we're going to put in, oh, I did that wrong. Oh well. We're going to do it this way.
Yeah, butter, then brown sugar, wasn't it?
Huh?
It's butter, then the brown sugar,
Yes,
wasn't
it
it?
was, but I don't think it'll hurt anything
Probably
in
not.
this instance.
If you're doing brown sugar, then the butter. And then it's another stick of
1 whole
softened
stick
butter in it.
of softened butter. And I tell you, if you're doing this in your microwave, do it like I do, because it's so easy.
Because we forgot to set it out, so you poured it out of the refrigerator, and then what'd you do?
I put it in the microwave for a minute on defrost. You know one thing I don't like about this darn mixer a messy cook as it is. Well, that's not going to be totally blended in there. Hopefully it'll blend as we put this in there. I'm going to start adding this. I wish this mixer would go a little slower. It's like Hercules. See all that stuff flying out? Wrapping up. Then it says to scrape the bowl, so I'm going to do that. There's a skeeter out here. I'll tell you, I wouldn't mind when summer so much if it wasn't so dabbling hot with all the darn bugs. About 3 minutes when you get to this stage. So we'll be back.
Okay, how's it coming?
Well, it looks good. I don't think it hurted anybody not having my butter all the way in there or my sugar in the wrong spot. We'll see if it raises. If it don't, then I guess we'll know. So, as you can tell, uh-oh, I broke my
Yep, and we got the charcoal
mixer
going. They're not ready yet, which is okay.
Well, we'll have to super glue that sucker. I broke my mixer.
Uh-oh.
Broke the little handle off of it. Anyhow, I'm gonna
pull the lid off the Dutch oven.
Tap, tap, tap. Tap, 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 tap. Now, we're going to pour this in here. Now, it did say that you're supposed to spray your bread pan. We're not using a bread pan, and there's already plenty of no-stick 'em on there. So,
We're using just regular
and we're using parchment paper.
To line. Sweetbreads work really good if you line them
You know, that does kind of look like pancake batter.
with parchment paper.
This might make a decent waffle, too. You never know.
Yeah.
I might have to try this recipe as a waffle. My hands are clean. I've washed them. Ooh, that's looking pretty. Wade has started the briquettes, but he just barely started them. The main reason is you want to be waiting on the briquettes, not have them wait on you, because they are very impatient. They won't wait at all.
Nope, that's correct.
So, can you go get me a paper towel?
Okay.
Time out, my hands are nasty.
Okay, here's you some paper towel, hon.
Thank you. Okay.
Guess we need more.
All right, that's good enough. My hands are still a little bit sticky. Now I'm going to give this one more quick stir. Thank you, dear.
You're welcome.
And I'm just going to do my best to spread this all around. Next time I probably will put some cinnamon in here. Your crumble topping. That looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
That didn't take too long to put together, now did it? We'll be back as soon as he gets ready to cook it.
So, charcoal's ready. Get my tongs so I don't have any trying to get away on me. One fell through the rack again.
That happens every time, doesn't it?
I think you're right, it does.
We like this Weber flue. It's lasted us, this has probably lasted 4 years, hasn't it?
But the only bad thing is that bottom sometimes the stuff kind of
Falls through.
So, we don't know for sure. It says a 350 oven.
Which we know we can do.
Yeah.
But
Usually,
it says an hour bake. We don't think it's going to take that long because we put it in a 10-inch Dutch oven instead of a 9 by 5 loaf pan.
Yeah, loaf pan always take longer because it's thicker by far in the middle. So we're going to do like a normal bake. Bottom outside edge. A ring around the outside, none in the middle. And then we're going to do a solid ring with about 4 in the middle. Make like a checkerboard on the top of our Dutch oven. A lot of times we use 24 to 26 on a 350 to 375 roughly degree oven. This is a deep Dutch oven. We usually add a little extra on top. So we're doing 28. So hopefully that won't be too hot. We'll find out. So we're going to go ahead and
do a normal rotate,
do a normal rotate with 10 minutes. And then at 30 minutes, we'll see if it's done. So here they're cooking. So we'll be back.
We'll be back when it's time to turn. On this channel, we show you yummy, delicious, and interesting things to cook in cast iron, most specifically Dutch ovens. Do you know we have a cookbook? It not only shows you great tips how to use your Dutch ovens, but it gives you our first 2 years of recipes. They're $20 with $6 shipping and handling. You can get those at Pole House Black Pots, P.O. Box 212, Fayette, Missouri 65248, or on Venmo.
Yes, in the Venmo, look up Pole House Black Pots on Venmo. All right, Ann, it's been 30 minutes. Get my gloves on.
Oh, I smell it.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm smelling. Be time to be checking.
Ooh, it smells good too.
You brought a toothpick just in case.
Yes, I did.
Yeah? Okay. Let's see if it's done.
Ooh, that's pretty.
It does look pretty. I don't think it's done. I can see it wiggly in the middle.
Yeah, it's wiggly in the middle.
Okay.
It didn't come out.
Yeah.
We figured this would be about 40 minutes.
I saw it kind of wiggle. Even though it's getting brown, hopefully we're going to get done without getting too brown. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate. We did not rotate yet at this 30-minute mark, so we're going to go ahead and rotate.
As always, Dutch oven one way, lid the other.
Probably wouldn't have to rotate the top since we took the top off, but we did anyway. So, okay.
Be back in another 10 minutes.
Yep. Okay, it's been 40 minutes now. We're going to check it and see if it's done.
Smells good.
It does smell good.
Ooh, look at there. It did get a little browner. But see, it's not jiggly. Poke that down as far as I can. Well, my toothpick splintered. It looks done, feels
Check that
done.
right there in that center spot that looks a little bit wetter.
Right here?
Yeah.
I think that's just
I think it's going to be all right, don't you?
Yeah, I do too. I think we're going to call it done. We're going to have to let this rest. A, it's hot out here. B, it's hot. It'd be a lip burner.
Yeah, so we're going to put it off of the heat.
And let it cool.
Let it cool a little bit.
One thing about quick breads is if you cut them too soon, they crumble everywhere.
Yeah.
You got to let them get firmed up.
At least probably 10 minutes is a good number if you still want it nice and hot. But a little longer won't hurt anything. So.
We're going to let this one cool down quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
we'll be back here in a little bit.
Right back.
Find out what it tastes like. Okay, so we pulled it out of the Dutch oven and let it rest for, it's been about, what, 30 minutes?
Yeah.
We put it on a wire rack. So
Look at the top of that, though. Show the top of that, Wade. Isn't that party? Leslie even says she wants
So let's
to
pull
try
it, slide it off the wire rack so we can cut it easier, I think. There we go.
Oh, it's nice and firm.
It's pretty too.
It is pretty. Look at that. And it's done. You can tell it didn't sink. One way you can tell if it's not done totally when you pull it out is this will sink down in there and you'll have a doughy part.
Spot,
Yeah. Believe me, I've done that often enough. Grab you a piece, son.
Still warm.
Ooh. That's worth fixing again.
Maple
Mm-hmm.
syrup doesn't come through real strong, but you can kind of get a hint of it, can't you?
Yeah.
I like
It's sweet. I will say that.
Yes, it is.
So, we hope you like this breakfast bread. If you have a recipe for a breakfast bread or questions on how we actually cook this done out here, maybe you don't believe us. We do cook in our Dutch ovens. We cook from start to finish. This was cooked right out here. But if you have any questions on how we do it, you have a breakfast bread recipe, send it. Maybe we'll fix
try it. So,
that about does it for this weekend getaway. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. That's a like. Share us on Facebook or Instagram or whatever your social media is.
right.
Don't forget to subscribe. That helps us out a lot. And we thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.